Hello, Iron Dirty, and I'm here with commentator Ro.
Hello, I am not Jody.
Again with that. Alright, this run is Sonic Mania New Game Plus Tales. Let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, go.
Rh0min is the best boy.
Ro, go for it.
Okay, hello everyone, welcome to Sonic Mania, which is, in my opinion, the best 2D Sonic game we have at the moment. Freaking love it. No, it's not Sonic 3 Knuckles, it's this. Fight me. Anyways, Sonic Mania is a game developed not just by Sega, but with help from fans and whatnot, like Christian Whitehead. What does that mean? It means this game is actually really good. I like it. We play as the best boy Tails, not as Sonic, and we play the category of New Game Plus. What does New Game Plus mean, I hear you ask? Well, it means that we already have all 7 Chaos Emeralds. We're playing on a completed save file where we have just done everything. We've beaten all the bosses, we grabbed all the emeralds. The emeralds are not necessary, but it means we can turn super! Like we did right now. Super form means that Tails is now invincible. We can't get hit. We can get squished, we can drown, that's a different thing, but we can't get hit anymore. We are incredibly fast. And I think it also has like higher acceleration than just regular form. It just makes our life super easy. Why do we play New Game Plus? Well, it allows us to just be fast, in the sense of we don't have to take any detours to grab the emeralds, if we were to play all emeralds, that is. And we can just try and focus on the fastest route possible. In some levels, we do need to be wary of our ring count, because we also utilize the super form for some skips and tricks that we use, but that we will be showing off later on in the run. However, you might have also noticed every now and then someone dropping in and out of existence from our screen. It is Knuckles, the red uncle. We also bring him along. Why? A, he's an awesome character, we do like Knuckles. B, we need him for a skip. More on that later on. We were already at the second boss. You might recognize him. He is returned from the Death Egg, but alas, the feet don't have any hitboxes. That's very neat, so we can walk underneath them. And we are super, so we don't care about that anyway. So it just allows us to go pop, 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 defeated. You might have noticed some changes from the initial Green Hill Zone. Like, wait, I saw familiar parts. That's different than the original. Yes. Mania does a wonderful thing. Every level has 2 acts. So we have Green Hill 1 and 2. We're now in Chemical Plant 1, which has Chemical 2. Spoilers. Act 1 tries to be as close to the original as possible, giving us a nice sense of nostalgia and whatnot, whereas Act 2 always introduces a unique little gimmick about it. For example, Green Hill had... Nice subpixel. Green Hill had the zip lines in Act 2. Chemical Plant 2, you will see in just a very hot second, because we're on our way to the boss fight. We grab enough rings, we did neato. Chemical Plant also, Act 1, the first speedrun that I have ever learned. That was my very first speedrun. The IL for Green Hill 1. For Chemical 1. Awesome banging soundtrack, you must love the music.
Yeah.
Problem is, we can't hear it, because we're in super state. Get used to the super music, by the way, you will hear it a lot throughout the run. We actually can turn that off in the PC version, but we're not on the PC, we're on the PlayStation 4 or 5?
PlayStation 5.
Oh, look at you having a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Act number 2 in Green Hill. Why do I keep saying Green Hill? Because we're Green Goop. Oh, that's Spider Steven. He's a good friend. He likes to give hugs. He's so excited he just combusts whenever we give him one. The gimmick about Chemical Plant 2 is the goop that we were just bouncing on. There are 3 kinds of goops. Technically 4 if you count the purple one we're in just a second. The light blue goop makes us just have a little bit of a bounce. The green goop gives us a very big bounce, and the dark blue goop hurts us. This is one of my favorite sections. We hold the jump button for bounce. Yeah. So there we could have potentially had a clip. The idea is that you can use the super transformation, which moves your hitbox a little bit, to clip into certain areas. Problem is we have 1 try for that. Because once you're super, you can't untransform anymore. I mean, you can if your character either goes into a special stage or unalives, but kinda don't want to do that because that's slow. These tubes are important because you need to be wary of which one you enter. Hold jump button for big bounce, freaking love it. And those tubes sometimes have directional button inputs, so you need to be wary of where to go. because we know the fastest route. There's a neat little quote-unquote hidden path in the top area. Oh, we don't go for the fly-through. Safe option, good option. Knuckles showed what we tried to avoid, getting squeamished. Oh, there he is again. It's to me personally, it's so incredibly funny to observe the secondary character when you're playing this game, just to like all the weird shenanigans they go through, like this boss fight. Welcome to the bane of every Mania speedrunner's existence, the Puyo Puyo or Eggman's Mini Machine boss fight. What is Puyo Puyo? Let's explain a different game in a Sonic game. Well, you see these neat little Puyos, or jelly blobs, I guess, if you want to call them that. Their whole shtick is that you need to group 4 of them to plop, I guess you could say. And if we do that, like we showed off right now, it throws trash Puyos to the enemy. Trash Puyos mean that... I try to like not rant too much because Jordan needs to focus on combos.
That's alright.
Because
it's not going to be bad.
The whole point is that we try to make Eggman lose. The Puyos on either side needs to reach, apologies, the top for it to burst. So we do one. That's a nice little combo. Plop. See all the trash Puyos on Eggman's end. Sadly, the displacement of them was a bit but I think this should... Yeah, Eggman just straight up said, okay, I'm done. Goodbye. Thank you. Yeah, this is the part where Sonic and Tails... I think Sonic and Tails can skip this, and if you play the Encore mode, you can skip this. Otherwise, you are forced to do this extremely RNG-based boss fight, which can kill your run in one swift motion. Welcome to Studiopolis. This is the first original stage in the game. Because as you saw, like, Green Hill and Chemical Plants were from Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. Studiopolis is an original stage. This is the level, or head of levels, I guess, that made this game exist. They showed this off to Sega, and they were like, hey, cool, we made, like, new levels. And Sega was like, dang, those are neat. Let's make a new game. That's the, like, shortest version possible. How can I explain this? It's a really cool stage aesthetically. Like, it's based, like, TV studios and whatnot. I just really like the aesthetics. Making use of the speed shoes. We're trying to go to a specific position, or like a specific path rather, because we're on our way to what I think might be one of the most difficult boss fights in this entire game. Yeah. And I will explain why in a hot second. And when the time has come, we'll just explain and then let Jordy focus, because this is... Oof. It took me quite a lot of practice to get this down in New Game Plus. So you see this boss, the Heavy Gunner. The way this boss works is they will shoot out 3 rockets, one of which is blue, coming in a position 1, 2, or 3. The higher the rocket is, the sooner it comes on stream, because we need to deflect the blue rocket. Now, what might look like Jordy's just holding the right button is actually 60 frame perfect inputs per second. So we're not just holding right, we're actually, you can't see it because it's just so fast, spamming the button at such a perfect rhythm that it looks like we're just holding the button. That's why we just, like, you know, if you lose the rhythm, Jordy sometimes isn't all the way to the right. It's very taxing on the body. Regardless of all the shenanigans that I'm talking about, this boss is an auto-scroller. So if we would have any donations or, you know, quirks or stuff that we wish to talk about or promote, this would be the perfect time. Because technically, if you play New Game Plus, just hold right the boss. But I like to make it look like it's not just holding right, but, you know, frame perfect right input, so it looks like we're holding right. Anyway, we have to do this whole shtick 4 times, because each time we deflect the rocket, it destroys one of the smaller robots until it actually fires towards Eggman and the Heavy Gunner. Who I think is my favorite of the Heavies. I think I just like the design. I think it's a neat little boss fight.
It's interesting. Definitely creative.
Yeah. I think it's also neat how you actually, like, if you pay attention, we don't actually defeat the Heavies. They just always, you know, make a run for it. That might come into importance later on. Studiopolis, Act number 2, where Eggman records Egg TV. A show which I think I might watch, depending on how good he, like, brings over his messages and whatnot. Will I fall victim to the propaganda? I don't think so. Nice little damage boost here at the beginning. This what are they called? Orbonaut enemy at the start is just so annoying to get past. So what we tend to do is we just hit ourselves intentionally on the spikes to get iframes so we can just walk through him. I didn't quite catch what those letters spelled when you moved through them.
I haven't explored what they say.
Act number 2 has these electric tubes that we can go into that's just dragging us along. And I think Act 1 had it as well, but Act 2 has like some popcorn machines here and there. It's just, oh, I like popcorn.
What's your favorite type of
cylinders,
popcorn?
Sweet, actually.
Same.
No, truth be told, I recently tried the combination sweet and salty, which is also quite nice, I must admit. But then again, I'm a huge sucker for salted caramel, so I guess that's that. Tails showing off, if you haven't noticed, these little bumper spheres that we're turning around. Tails can use a smaller hitbox. Yes, his hitbox is smaller than the other characters. Squeeze in between those, which saves us a lot of time. Also, look, it's Eggman TV with the weather report. For some reason, the chicken gets called Argic. I haven't quite caught the meme of that, but I'll stick to that. Hi, Argic. Goodbye.
I didn't know about that.
The sound you're hearing right now, by the way, and the date you see on the TV, the 07-22-16, is a reference to a presentation that Sega once did, where they had this box sound playing. So was the 22nd of July 2016. This game is a little bit old, but we love it. Flying Battery, back to the levels you already know, is from... I'm trying to think, Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles?
Sonic and Knuckles.
Sonic and Knuckles, okay. It's hard for me to listen to this level and not hear Lady Gaga. Shoutouts to anyone who gets that reference.
I don't.
You don't? We need to introduce you to some music mods we made in Sonic 3.
Oh no.
And Mania. Anyways, the Flying Battery is a cool level that shows off one of the newer mechanics like this. If we grab the lightning shield, we are now magnetized. Normally only rings magnetize to us, but Flying Battery has this neat little thing where the ceiling and the like are also electrocuted, which makes them magnetic, and as such pulls us towards it. This is a tricky section, but we are good on time. For those of you who don't know, as I said, the ceiling gets magnetic and pulls these platforms up, and if you moved in the wrong timing, they squish you. It's a set timer. Whenever the time on the seconds has an 8, Knuckles blocked the rocket, amazing. Whenever the timer has an 8 in the seconds, the magnetism gets turned on. So you can actually like plan around it depending on your timer. It's important that the third rocket hits the floor in the first of these two sections, because otherwise it won't break. Knuckles being like, I'll save you! And it's like, thanks. I guess. The boss, the trash crusher. Not the official name, but I call it that. This is a prime example for me why Tails trivializes many of the bosses, especially via Super. Because many of the bosses' gimmicks is the fact that I am out of reach most of the time, you have to wait until I come down to hit me. And Tails is like, yeah, nah, mate, I'm just coming up to you, thank you. Circumventing the whole gimmick, making the boss fights so much easier and faster. And now comes the level which shows off why I think Tails is such a cool character and really need to learn as a speedrun. Because this is the first level where we have like a proper like skip in quotation marks, which isn't even a glitch. It's also allowed if you play glitchless. But for that we have to go to a specific spot in the level. Because the way this level works, it's the airship, you know, we move through it and stuff and blah whatnot. However, the right positioning and the right rhythm. Yes, we can just skip a huge chunk of level by flying underneath all of it. But this is not all. Here comes the next part.
Whew.
Yeah, oh, love to see it. We also skipped the boss fight in this level. The way this boss works is that it's a horizontally looping boss, but the captures already spawned in vertically. I said horizontally. I'm an idiot. I keep mixing those up. A vertically scrolling boss. We can skip the boss fight as well, as you saw. We have to fly very precisely though. Would Geordie have landed too early, we would have soft locked because the camera would froze and we would have no chance to move out of there. If Jordi would have landed too late, we would have died. You might have also seen the glider there, which is used in the cutscene once you defeat the boss and blah. Do not grab that before. It just kills your run and your pace and everything. Like, just don't grab the glider. It's a category extension category, but yeah, not in the casual speedrun. Press Garden, Act number 1. It is where Agman prints his propaganda from television to the newspaper. Actually makes you think about the fact that Agman has a lot of media coverage now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone buys that newspaper?
Probably not.
It's a lot of wasted paper then. Anyways, I don't think Agman is very eco-concerned. An interesting level, like thematically, as you see, like a press with lots of moving parts. He also again making good use of his flight because the routing allows us to circumvent certain areas. And this level has one of the most beloved boss in this entire game. Because, I will explain it to you when it happens, the boss is super friendly because the boss waves at us. So what we do is, we go into the chat and whenever we meet him, we wave
Hi,
back.
boss.
So, hello boss, hi, spam all the wave emotes you have. It's the best, like hello. And we try to be nice and be like, okay, let's make this short and painless, just for the sake of the boss. We don't even allow him to break his arms by himself. It's just, pop, it's done. As appreciation. Now, do we get cutscene skip? That is the next big question. The way this works is we fly in the transition phase.
Nope.
No. And if we spin dash and let go at just the right moment, we circumvent this little cutscene where we, walk to the right, and then, it's press garden too. Saves a little bit of time. It's not a, make or break kind of skip. But, every time save is welcome. PG2 is the mandatory ice level in this game. Every Sonic game must have an ice level, one way or another. After Sonic 3. Did you grab the shield or did Knuckles grab the shield?
Yeah, so that's an interesting feature that I want to explain. If Knuckles or a partner takes a shield, you gain it.
Huh. That's interesting. You never stop learning. The whole gimmick is that we can get frozen, and we can actually use this to our advantage, because there are certain walls that are also made out of ice, where we can break through them if we're frozen ourselves. Tails doesn't look too thrilled about that. If it weren't for the invincibility, I think you would have spiked yourself there.
Yep.
That looked fascinating. And now it's time for who has the bigger hitbox. Is it us? Is it Heavy Shinobi? It's Heavy Shinobi, sadly. But that doesn't stop us from murdering it anyway. Also, a nice little shout out to Metallic Madness. Not Metallic Madness. Heck, what's it called?
Titanic.
Where the stars come from in Sonic 2. Because Heavy Shinobi uses them as shurikens.
Oh.
I speedrun Sonic 2, I should know that. Anyways, Stardust Speedway, the level with the most chill music in the entire game. Don't worry, I won't go ASMR mode the entire thing. Just to show off how neat the soundtrack is. Also, in general, this game has a magnificent soundtrack, where the Stardust Speedway is a bit of a special case, but normally the music tries to also emulate the first and second act, in the sense of the first being a bit more traditional with the music, trying to be as close as possible, with, a bit of a modern rendition to it. Whereas the second act always has a sound, or a song that's, modernized and cool and remixed and blah. Sounds nice. Stardust Speedway is a bit different because the whole point of Sonic CD, where the game comes from, was the time travel mechanic, where you can be in the past and the future, and this tries to emulate that as well. Because Act 1 is the past, and Act 2, if you haven't thought about it already or spoiled it, I don't know, is the future. This boss, the light bulb bugs. Something that many people don't know about is the enemies do not spawn in if you are airborne. So the boss only returns when you're on the ground. If you were to fly and hit these smaller ones, for example, and then just stick to the air as tails, the big boss won't return until you're on the floor again. I learned that the hard way in a speedrun. Which was then no longer speedy, just a run. The future! Actually, like, we skipped the cutscene, but it also plays homage to the time transition. Time transition? To the level transition, whatever you want to call it. Basically, Tails does the proper like time travel from the game with the animation and the sounds and the whatnot. I just love how much the game isn't just, oh, it's a new Sonic game, but tries to be like respectful and honoring where it comes from and whatnot.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that Mania is one of the best made 2D Sonic games out there. Boing. Oh. I'm always relieved to know that this isn't actual Metal Sonic because that was such a pain to fight him. It's just a hologram. Oh, fudge.
Oh, here he is. Run!
Yep. Welcome to the Metal Sonic fight from Sonic CD. How does this fight work? It has 3 phases. We have the chase, which we are in right now, where we try to avoid him and not get hit. And it's all dangerous. Phase 2, where Metal Sonic implements himself into a huge machine and spawns like little Silver Sonics, and we have to fight them off and bounce them back at him and blah. But how do this correctly?
Yeah, we can just skip it entirely. Or we can't because Knuckles will trigger it.
Oh. Oh, Knuckles! Ah, the boy. So technically, Jordi almost got the skip where we can fly above the trigger for the boss fight. Only problem is our partner, in this case Knuckles, also has an active hitbox, which can also trigger boss fights. Which he just did. See, this is what Tails is the superior one. And now we are in part 3. The Neo Mega Metal Hyper Sonic. Like, it's big and evil now because he has the Phantom Ruby. The arms have an active hitbox, but only in the front, so if we manage to stick behind them... Ooh, nice. Also, Tails, grab the emerald. Tails, grab the ruby. Tails, grab it. Tails! Tails! Oh. See, the entire story would have been done by now. The story revolves about the ruby that Tails just completely failed to grab. It's the Phantom Ruby, which has special warping power things, whatever. Story could have been done. Anyways, we are now moving into my absolute freaking favorite zones in the Sonic games. I love Hydro City. Hydro City Act 1 and 2. Great music, aesthetically really cool. The flow of the level is amazing. And, in my opinion, the best showcase for why Tails is such a cool character in Sonic Mania. And I don't just say this because, you know, Tails fanboy and blah, and like, legit. Hydro City 1 and 2 are great examples of why this run as Tails is incredible. And enjoy, we showed off in just a hot second, because we're on our way to the setup. And then I'll explain it once we're there, but for the setup itself, I will be in quiet mode because it takes some precise timing. And I want to give Jordi the time to focus and, you know, do it properly.
It's all good,
So we position ourselves with the little jelly friend and wait for the timer to reach 0.
It's like, there is like such thing as visual cues and audio cues. I usually use audio cues, but thanks to Anchor, we don't get the drown music, so I now use both. It's very difficult.
Yeah, like the way this trick works is that we intentionally wait for the drowning timer to run out, get grabbed by the jelly friend to regain control of the character, and I can't explain the technical part, but basically what happens is the game thinks you're dead, but you're not, which removes your active hitbox, kind of. This short focus time, I'm sorry.
There we go.
Nice. Which, as you saw, like we can walk through spikes, anything that doesn't have active sprites, we can pass through and whatnot. It just puts us into a ghost state, we call it, like, or zombie state, depending on who you ask. And allows us to skip the entire thing. We also skip the boss fight, going above the ceiling. It's amazing. It just shows off the incredible hard work also that this community has put into finding all these skips and tricks, and just massive shoutouts to the Sonic Speedrun community. Hyrule City Act 2, where we don't have a skip like that, but also a neat little thing that shows how, like, level awareness and whatnot can help us move faster. The unique thing, quotation marks, about Hydro 2 is the fact that certain parts of the levels are shaped like an infinity sign, like a figure 8 that has been laid down, if you will. And it wants us to go from the top left to the bottom right, to the top right to the bottom left, you know, like as the figure goes. But since we can fly, we can just take the straight line from top left to top right, move a bit further so we hit the, now what are they called? The path swapper, thank you, because there's a foreground and background path, and then just go straight towards the right path. The right path, which is the bottom left path, which then leads us to the bottom right. Are you confused yet?
I was confused from the beginning.
Awesome! So I'm doing my job properly. Oh, we did the same here-ish. We went from top left to bottom right, but we can use our momentum and the well-timed jump to clip through the slide that leads us downwards. And we have now reached Hyrule 2 boss, the Toilet of Doom! The gimmick of this boss is that Eggman tries to push us towards spikes. However, since we are in a super state, we ourselves have an active hitbox. The idea normally is to use these bombs to hit them, dodge, and then make the bombs hit Eggman. But we can just use ourselves, because again, super state, we don't get hurt, we have an active hitbox, and it allows us to do these neat little things where we get intentionally stuck on the spikes. As is with this boss, we just fly into him. Hit, where is it, the capsule, we'll land in a specific spot. Because this final cutscene, after the boss is defeated, we can't skip for some reason. The only way the game moves forward is if Tails walks off screen. And we try to like position ourselves in ways that, you know, utilizing the ramp and the whatnot to avoid the water. So we go in there. Also Knuckles, nice of you to join us. Ah, no, he's gone. Ah, poor Knuckles. He does try his best.
Can we get an F in chat, please?
Oh no! I can have that. Mirage Saloon 1! Again, another original level of this game. That is one skip we do at the end of this section. It is the train skip. We need 50 rings for that, and we need to keep hold of those rings, because we must super transform at a very specific spot. So the whole point of this section now, it is an auto-scroller, we can't do much against that, is to grab 50 rings, hope to these 50 rings, and then just wait it out until the end. Like, end section in quotation marks of the plain section. But as this is an auto-scroller, we can just, you know, read donations, talk about stuff like, you know, the amazing causes we are supporting, and, you know, have nice little banter with the hosts and the whatnot.
Exactly.
So how are you feeling about the run so far?
Yeah, everyone's gone alright so far.
Yeah.
Still sort of relearning because I have been playing a lot of Origins.
I do find it very fascinating how, when you like haven't speedrun a game for a super long time, and then get back to it, just how the muscle memory takes over. In a sense. Because after I haven't speedrun Mania for like a year or so back then. And then decided, oh, I'll just do like just a casual fun. Because I like the game, just a neat little speedrun. And just the skips and the tricks and the routing and blah, you don't actively think about it, it just happens. Like the skip, for example. Once we transition from the plane phase to the train phase, if we jump and transform,
I didn't get
the
it.
game gets a bit confused. You didn't get it? You were too low, you didn't hit the checkpoint.
I were too low.
Yep. You actively need to hit the blue bubble thing of the checkpoint to trigger it.
I thought you just keep holding down.
No, you have to like position yourself in the lower third of the thing.
Okie dokie.
That's so good. The way it works is, again, like if we super transform while we transition from the plane phase to the train phase, the game gets confused as to whether we are in the foreground or background and blah, which would allow us to grab the checkpoint that you see right before the boss, and then we get squished against a keg, barrel, whatever you want to call it, which then skips the entire train section. We're at the boss! The beads of doom that make a worm that tries to hurt us. The pattern of the worm is a bit RNG, whether it jumps from the foreground to the background to foreground, moves left or right. I think that was a good pattern. That was
It
okay.
wasn't.
Not really. I've seen worse.
I got 4 ones to begin with.
I've seen worse. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Mirage Saloon 2, which is the whole reason why we bring Knuckles along. Why? Because there is a cool skip for which we need him. Also, it's a Wild West themed level. I like this one a lot. I'm a fan of the Wild West. Yes, I have played Red Dead Redemption. The way this level works is that we try to move through the saloon towards the end, where there is the boss fight, of course. Duh. But behind the boss fight, there is already the capsule waiting for us. But the problem is, if we drop down to the boss area, because we go from top to bottom, it triggers the boss fight. So how do we avoid this? Well, we have Knuckles, whom we know has an active hitbox. But in this case, it's a bit different, because the game just can't pull or teleport us down there. So what we do is we position ourselves in a very specific spot, align ourselves with the ice cream, because that's why this is called Ice Cream Skip. Nom, 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 nom. We love the ice cream. And we try to push Knuckles to go down into the tube there. He goes down, we spin dash, and we use the ice cream as a visual cue to jump, and if everything went well, yes! Knuckles hits the capsule that's off-screen for us. Just immediately ending the level. We skip the fight completely. Thank you, Knuckles. You deserve your ice cream. Is there grape ice cream? I don't remember.
Good question.
Because I'm aware that Knuckles' favorite food are grapes.
You know, I'm not actually too sure.
For Tails, it's mint chocky. He likes his mints. Mint. M-I-N-T-S, not mints in the sense of meat.
Mints.
Ah, yes, the good old mince ice cream.
I don't want to imagine
that. The level where I question why Sega brought this one back? Welcome to Oil Ocean Act 1 and 2. I want to leave my personal opinions out of this. I'm not a fan of Oil Ocean. But it is a cool level if you like the color purple. It has some interesting up and down shenanigans. The fan, please let us through. And we're already the boss. Bob the Builder. Can you get an attack off? We don't think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And down to the river sticks with you. Yep. Bob the Builder. We like him. He's friendly because we just don't allow him to attack anyway. All Ocean Act number 2. What's the unique gimmick? You already see the smog, fog, dust, air thing, whatever. We position ourselves. Thank you, Knuckles. The idea was that we position ourselves. You can also just skip the cutscene on PC, by the way, to trigger the thingy. But anyways, the unique gimmick is the fog that's building up. The fog increases in density over time, as you see throughout the level. And once it reaches a certain level of density, it starts draining your rings. So it basically has the same effect, like the same detriment of the super state without the benefit of it. There are these little pulley things that we can grab, which then remove the fog completely again. It also decreases our visibility, as you can see, but Jordy's just too skilled a gamer, and as such we know where to move throughout the level without seeing everything clearly. Now the next question is, can we get another boss kit going? Fingers to be crossed. The way this boss works is the same as some other ones. Knuckles. Dang it. The way this could have worked is that we fly at the beginning of the section, as you saw, and we try to hug the ceiling and fly above the boss trigger. But I think it might actually have been Knuckles who was too low there and was like, oh, we're fighting the boss now.
I think that was me that time.
Shh, I'm trying to blame Knuckles.
Hashtag blame Knuckles.
Yes. Oh,
Get
always
it trending on Twitter.
Yeah. Axe, by the way, formerly known as Twitter. That's so stupid. Anyway. Moving on to what is next to Hydro City, I think the best music in the game. Lava Reef Act number 1. This song freaking slaps. So as is custom, I want you all in the chat or wherever you are, when you hear this or see this, just spam all the dance emotes and jam emotes and hype emotes because dang, this song is good. I've yet to meet someone who's like, Lava Reef 1? Nah, I don't like that song. It's just too good. And I watch the comment section be like, oh, I hate this actually. Just to prove me wrong. Lava Reef, act number 1. Well, it's about lava. Who would have guessed? Luckily, there are some flame shields or fire shields, depending on how you want to be about this, which make us invulnerable to the fire.
We don't have it anymore.
Yes. Because Jordy likes to show off just how great the skill is. It's just, you know, I don't need the flame shield. I'll show you all. I'm telling you don't need it. It just makes life a little bit easier. But alas, if we know the right routing and whatnot, that's... So, what is your favorite, like, zone, level, whatever, in Mania?
Oh, that is a good question.
For me, it's Hydro City. I love Hydro City. It's just way too neat.
I don't know. I would probably say... I was like Metallic Madness 1.
Wow, the level that makes me panic the most. Interesting.
I don't know, there's something about it. I just enjoy it.
So if you like it, you like it. All fair in games. Sorry, sniffy nose. Yeah, we're moving towards the boss fight. There's not much left to the level. The way this boss works is that it has, like, special armor around it, which protects it. So we can't actually hit it in the first phase. We need to wait until the lava hits it first to pop, pull away a little bit of its armor. Then we need to land on a different platform that still has some rocks to make the lava rise again. Pop. And now we can actually hit the boss. Yay! Gotta wait for the boss to come down again, so we can get the final hits in. And the boss is done. Having the super state makes this a lot easier, as you can imagine, because we can just stand there and not worry about the lava and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Do we get dark lava beef?
Oh, I forgot.
Oh no. It's okay, I forgive you. Lava Reef 2. A level that's a bit more... I mean, I could literally say it's a cooler level because it has, you know, cooler colors and whatnot. Aesthetically very pleasing, I must say. Like, this level is very pleasant to look at. And has a chiller soundtrack. Here we have, I think, the easiest skip out there. Yes, you watching this right now, or listening to this right now, can do this skip. All you need is to have all the emeralds in the super transformation. So we grab the big ring. We move all the way to the right to the moving platform. And we wait until the platform is moving upwards again. Well, just like that.
Hey, congratulations, you've skipped.
Exactly. The way this works is that by super transforming in the right timing, we get pushed inside the box. The box is like, you shouldn't be here, and tries to push us to the side. The wall being like, you should also not be here, and pushes you in. And what we do then is just spin dash or just jump to push ourselves out of the wall, skipping a huge chunk of the early game of this level. And again, like, the setup for this is super easy. It's just a matter of timing. So you hug the wall, you're on the platform, you transform, that's it. GG's. Try it out for yourself. Very satisfying. Was also the first skip that I learned. Now this is the section where normally Knuckles would be like, ha ha ha, I punch Boulder to pull you down, but he's on our side now. So we move on to a Zeppelin, which is a safety hazard as is, but alas, because we must fight the Heavy Rider. And the Motorbug. Jimmy, I think the name is?
I'm not entirely too sure.
Whatever the name is, the Motorbug has extremely evil eyes, and I don't know why. Like, that thing looks more ferocious and hateful and despising towards our characters than any of the other bosses.
Yeah, they're really turned up in Mania.
It's just, I don't know, Heavy Rider looking kind of normal, swinging the big, like, mace ball around. It's like, I'm gonna hit you and fight you, and the Motorbug just being like, I will murder you in your sleep. Okay, calm down there. Well, time for Jordy's favorite level. Jordy, how do you feel about this?
This is anime.
But
I just love how it flows.
well, I'm way too scared of this level. There are so many hazards everywhere, so many ways to get squished, to get spiked, to lose your rings, and it just shows how much. Yeah, screw that bug in particular. How much more confidence Jordy has as a runner. I like the shades of blue in the background.
Same.
Blue is also your favorite color, I assume.
Yep. Whew, we made the early cycle.
Nice. Whoa, neat. It's very easy to get squished in that section. We are moving to a very familiar boss. Some of you might have seen this before if you played the original Sonic trilogy. This is the final boss, not in this game, from Sonic 1. You know, with the moving pillars, but we have 5 now instead of 4. And the cool thing about this boss is the fact that there is always space in between. Always. Oh. So if we, like, enumerate them from left to right, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you will never have numbers that are adjacent. So you won't have 1, 2, or 2, 3, or 4, 5, or stuff like that. There will always be a gap. Jordy utilizing pause threads to try and figure out where is Eggman coming out from. Because we don't know which of the two Eggman comes out of, so we have to pause to see, like, okay, is it left or right, and then try and move accordingly. After the 4th hit on this fight, we go into the desperation phase. Now Eggman comes in a continuous flow, just 1, 2, 3, 4. And in every 4th pillar, there is Eggman. So we have to count on our heads, okay, like this 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and every time the 4th one comes down, Eggman is in there. What I like to do normally when I speedrun this game or showrun it in marathons is count along in various languages, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just any languages I can think of at that point. That's a neat little. Metallic Madness Act number 2. This is in fact anime. This is the song that confirms it. If you listen closely to the lyrics in the background, or if you have the time to listen to it in your free time, the songs, MM1 and 2, are a rap battle between Sonic and Eggman. Also, we have freaking the most adorable sprites ever. It's the chibi versions of the characters. Look at Chibi Tails. So cute. I want to give him biscuit.
You want to give him a biscuit?
Yeah. I mean, I think they take it as an insult if you go to like any of the Sonic characters. Like, here, look, like kibbles like you give to dogs and cats in our world. Squeamish. See, that's what happens if you don't eat your veggies. Luckily, we'll grab the checkpoint right in front of this thing. But yeah, the gimmick of this level is that we have the chibi transformations. So we get small character or big character, which allows us to pass through certain areas or not. That's all. Again, like, I love the chibi sprites. They're so cute. And that goes for all of them. Like, yes, I am a Tails fan, that's a given. But also, like, Knuckles and Sonic and stuff, they all look so adorable when they're in their chibi sprites. Knuckles didn't even hit the laser and got small. That was very interesting. I think specifically crouching Tails and gliding Knuckles in chibi are the most adorable. MM2 the boss. Gotcha the boss, basically. The way this works is that Eggman has this gotcha machine that we turn to pull out bosses from either Sonic 1, Sonic 2, or Amy Doll for some reason. I don't know why that's a thing.
This is Sonic's worst enemy.
Yeah. Sonic being like, bosses I fought before. Like, this is the, you know, Emerald Hill 1 boss. It's the Marble Zone boss. Oh my god, it's Amy! Dang, that's the creepiest thing I've ever seen! Also, Knuckles just casually shaking his fist like, yeah, you see that? Beat the crap out of him. And we move on to the final area, the Titanic Monarch, which... Truth be told, I'm not a huge fan of Titanic Monarch, I just don't like the aesthetics or music, but it does really catch the vibe of final level. Like, we're going towards the big thing now. I also never quite realized the fact that the background is just an entire city, question mark?
It's the inside of. I mean, yeah, like I see where you're coming from. It does look like a city, but it's just like all the like power units and everything.
Yeah, it looks like skyscrapers.
Yeah.
That can't be a coincidence. Anyways, we have these neat little electric balls that just don't... Does anyone still have one of these plasma balls at home? Are they a thing?
I used to have one.
I never did have one. I knew I saw them in electric shops when I was a kid, but I just... Why are they not a thing anymore? They're amazing. Anyway, away from childhood nostalgia, back to the game. The lightning shield comes really handy in this again, because as you see, there's these lightning currents that move in between these rods. If we have the lightning shield, we can grab by them and move along. Time to show off why Tails is the best character. This skip is Tails only. We position ourselves, we spin dash, and we get clipped inside the wall. Any other character that isn't Tails will get squished, and, you know, you have to try again.
I probably shouldn't have done that when I was in Super.
Nah, you'll be fine.
I didn't even need to...
We'll be double safe now. Interestingly, for those of you who don't know, grabbing super shoes while in the super steps, grabbing speed shoes while in the super state is detrimental because it slows you down. The shoe speed overrides your super speed, which is kind of stupid. Crimson Eye, no, not Red Eye, it's Crimson Eye, has a second phase where he grabs the ceiling and or the floor and turns into an elevator and he's already dead. But now we move on. The final level. Titanic Monarch, Act number 2. What's the cool thing about Titanic Monarch Act number 2? Has any one of you ever read a book or played a game that's like, choose your own adventure, or you go your own path and whatnot? It's that. But we get Dark Titanic Monarch 2 even. Nice. We can't just do the Dark Lava Beef skip, we can also do Dark Titanic Monarch 2. As you can see, if you wait out the cutscene where the game fades out and then tries to fade back in, if you skip the cutscene during the fade-in at the right moment, the game just locks the darkness level to whatever it was at that time. This technically makes this a lot more difficult on us because we, you know, see less. But Jody, again, way too skilled, knows exactly where to go. Oh,
well, this is scary.
A little bit. This genuinely adds to the mood of like, oh, this is like final boss and dark and evil and brrr. Now comes the most interesting part. And I will be quiet for the skip.
This is going to make it more difficult. Half clip. Half clip.
Should I explain or do you need focus time?
You can talk, I don't mind.
Okay. What we're trying to do is that we try to clip inside the ceiling on the top right there. The way this works is we align ourselves with the box, we spin dash towards the ball to like enter it at a certain angle, and then we have to hold the left button for exactly 17 to 18 milliseconds. It's incredibly precise, and then we try to jump out of the lightning ball at a very, very, very specific frame, which would then clip us inside the wall. That's just the first step of the clip. Goes a lot further. What we do then is we jump to a certain point, and then we have to do some other inputs like turn around, spin dash, do frame perfect jumps and whatnot. It's super finicky. Like, this is the most difficult, as far as I know, the most difficult skip in this entire game. It is incredibly precise, and in the best case, you just fail it over and over. In the worst case, you soft lock. So this is a genuine make or break situation in the speedrun, right at the very last level, which makes this so high risk, high reward. Because getting the skip, like in the first few-ish tries, I'd say, saves up to like 2.5 minutes of the run. But as we said, it's incredibly precise and difficult to get. Oh,
Oh my god, where is it?
oh, oh! I just realized.
Okay, I don't know if I want to play a Dark Titanic Monarch.
Okay. Despite Dark Titanic Monarch, we got the skip. That's incredible. Like, that's genuine. Like, here, have a golf clap for that. Like, we are laughing about this, but this is genuinely super freaking difficult. Like, I've never bothered to learn that skip just because it's so finicky. Despite skipping the level, we can't skip the final boss. That is mandatory. So despite hitting the capsule at the end, we still have to fight Eggman. The way this works is that he has a shield, we can't hit him right now. And whenever he pulls down to deactivate the shield, the arms electrify. This is a boss that gets easier the more you fight it, technically.
Yeah.
Because every time we hit him 4 times, like every 4th hit, breaks one of the electric arms. After 2 phases, where he gets vulnerable, he grabs us with his strong crystalline hands and pulls us into the improved heavies. In this case, the heavy gunner, which has rocket launchers, like huge rocket launchers and whatnot now. But Eggman's pattern in the sense of when he lands and stuff is always the same. Where he lands differs, like his positioning, but the rhythm with which he jumps, shoots the rockets, becomes vulnerable and whatnot is the same.
Here we go, that's time.
Yep, time's on the final hit. GG's!
Thank you.
GG! You done it. Good job.
Thank you.
But yeah, that was Sonic Mania New Game Plus as the best boy Tails.
Oh, me.
Good job, Jody.
Thank you, thank you. And as always, a pleasure having you here and doing this for me.
Oh, you're more than welcome, my friend. Big stretch.
Big stretch.